Welcome to High Five Fitness. I'm the host and producer, Denet. We're on episode 14, How Time Goes. We have a very special guest in the studio with us who was actually here a while back on episode 3. We'll take a look at that photo later on, but I'd like to welcome our guest, Lisa, to the studio. Lisa, it's good to see you again.
Great to see you too. Thank you for having me.
How have you been?
I've been well, thank you.
I understand you've been pretty busy and that you've been motivating people and writing books and doing a lot of things since you were here last.
I did just publish a book.
Well, yeah, I'm really looking forward to spending some more time reading this, and I think this book looks great, and I'm glad to get this advice out. You really do a great job in motivating and the energy you carry. In fact, there was a video that we'll take a look at in a moment that you put together where you were really showing, it captures your energy and your passion for fitness. So if I could get the studio to go ahead and load that video and roll the tape, and then our viewers could take a look and see Lisa in action. So let's roll that tape. Intense and hard little workout there. I'm sure that got your heart rate up and bleachers and really pushing, motivating yourself to be the best that you can, going to the next level. I mean, that's what I enjoy about it. Just really makes you feel alive. That video did such a great job in capturing how you've come alive when you're exercising.
Definitely, it was a great way to start the morning. Just kind of wanted to make the point to people that you could do a workout in the house, at the gym, outside. You can use bleachers, or there's definitely tools you can use in the wilderness to
well, that's one of your specialties, is coming up with ways to get great workouts and not much time with minimal equipment. I still remember the workout you put me through, and that was brutal and a lot of fun.
Episode 3, the travel workout?
Yeah, that was a great one. So tell me a little bit about your book, and I believe we have a picture of it that we can share with our viewers. So.
Okay. It's called Everyone Has a Six-Pack. It's the complete guide to revealing your abs.
And how long were you working on writing this?
Actually, it wasn't that long. I started at the beginning of the year and was able to publish it just about a week ago in October.
Congratulations. Now, on the back of the book, you've got quite an endorsement there. So could you tell me about the endorsement?
I was absolutely complimented and excited that I got fitness celebrity Jennifer Nicole Lee to endorse the book. I sent her a copy of it, and her words were just beautiful on it. She stated, Lisa Rooney's book is a must-read if you want to finally achieve your fat loss and fitness goals. She's motivational, charismatic, and passionate about helping all look and feel their best, and yes, get the six-pack abs that they've always dreamed of. So it was really kind words, and from such an impacting, worldwide known woman, I was elated.
Well, congratulations. You certainly deserve it, though. The work that you put into it.
Thank you.
Which I want to talk a little bit about your day job. Now, you say everyone has a six-pack, but you actually have a chance on your day job to view people and to see that people actually do have a six-pack. Could you share with our viewers what's your day job and how do you know everyone has a six-pack?
That's actually what made me think of the title, Everyone Has a Six-Pack. As I work in radiology, I do CT scans, And basically, if you took someone and sliced them like a loaf of bread and looked down, you can see the inside of everyone. And the commonality is that everyone has a muscle. The difference is the amount of tissue or fat sitting on top of it. So I thought, you know, if you could just break people's mentality, a lot of people are sitting there thinking, I will never have a six-pack. Well, the rest of the book is what it states, is how to reveal it between a workout program, nutrition program.
So why don't you tell us a little bit about that? You did some research and we're looking into what kind of questions people ask and before you wrote this book. So maybe you could cover one of the top questions that you had.
One of the most common questions is, what's the best move for abs? And it's really not about a move. It's really about your diet and exercise program that allows enough fat loss that you can see your abs. One of the points that I made in the book is that you could stay contracted in an abs move for a week straight and still not see your abs. And it's because there's something covering it still. If there's anything to
You didn't
pinch
try
there,
that, did you?
No.
That's not how you got your six-pack?
I didn't test out that theory.
That's not where your six-pack came from?
No, it came from, you know, dedicated nutrition and exercise.
A lot of time in the kitchen. Mm-hmm. A lot of time shopping for food and preparing it. Yeah, I believe we actually have a picture when we were in the studio before, and I remember seeing your abs in that workout. So if we could share the picture with our guest. Yeah, there you are, and that was back on episode 3. I think it was a 20 to 25 minute workout, and it was brutal. So again, thanks for that. I'm glad that you're back in the studio here, and that since then you've put this book together. That is really awesome.
Thank you.
And now, I had a couple questions I wanted to talk about. So one question one of our viewers had is they said, hey, I'm really into endurance work. I'd like to lose fat, but I spend a lot of time doing endurance work. Do you have any recommendations? So,
what type of endurance work are they doing?
They do long distance running.
Okay, so that does burn a lot of calories. Their diet might have to be a little bit more carbohydrate heavy than the average person just to make it that many miles if they're getting ready for marathons or long distance types of things. But they may also even get an emaciated or skinny fat type of body type. So creating balance in their training would definitely add you know, a lowered or leaner physique and a lowered body fat. It also would maybe shave some time off their miles if they had stronger muscles in their legs, more of like powerhouse.
So keep up the weights, hit the weights, don't be afraid of heavy weights, and maybe up the protein, or just keep some carbs in the diet though. Definitely.
Keep some carbs in the diet, because your body has a sense of priority, and if it's running 13, 16 miles, it's going to start to burn your reserves.
Yeah. Now, one of my coworkers was asking, okay, if someone's starting out an exercise program, they want to know, what kind of time commitment does someone really need? How many hours a week? I'm fanatical, I'm in the gym. I like going twice a day whenever I can, and I spend a lot more time there than what a lot of people would be comfortable doing. So do you have some recommendations for our viewers?
I think for someone starting out, they should start with something that they can achieve. So even if that's only 2 days a week for 40 minutes, then do that and feel successful at it, and then add on from there. I think 2 to 3 days a week is a good target for, you could do 20 minutes of cardio and then 20 minutes of weights, and just get it done within 2 to 3 days a week.
Yeah, there's a joke that someone says they're not fat, they're just retaining water. Then they come back and say, well, In this case, they're actually retaining Lake Mead. So,
I guess that depends on the scenario.
so I mean, how does someone actually get rid of their fat, and how does someone really get a six-pack?
70% or more is diet. So in the book, I implemented a more aggressive approach to dieting. It's carb cycling.
Which is something I'm a fan of and I enjoy. I actually do enjoy it because you get the variety of food when you're doing it, but it's not something I do on a normal basis. It's more, okay, I've got a contest or I really have something coming up and I want to be as lean as I can, and then I will carb cycle. So when would you recommend people implement carb cycling? And what is carb cycling?
Carb cycling is a purposeful manipulation of when you intake carbohydrates, and varying it can aid in fat loss because it kind of tricks your body into thinking it's not deprived. So you can space it out. You can start off with something like every other day. You have a higher carb day and a lower carb day. And then as you progress and need to lose more fat, then you can space out your days a little bit more. And also it allows you that time to mentally get on board with having those spaced out days.
Yeah, I know some would do high, medium, medium, low. Others would do high, medium, low, high, medium, low. There's a bunch of different programs out there.
Yes.
And
I think that's what I like, is the flexibility of it. But as well, I also enjoy that it doesn't leave your body feeling so depleted from just being on some low carb diet for a long time. Then you kind of, your body is saying to you,
after
I'm
3 or 4
deprived,
days,
you might hit a plateau, that type of thing. So it's a method that works. It's even been used on The Biggest Loser.
I didn't know they're using carb cycling there. It also gives people a chance to add more variety. I mean, I'd be on the low carb days. I'd be looking for it. Okay, tomorrow's my high carb day. I'm going to wake up, have a double serving of oatmeal and some protein powder for my first meal. Next meal, I'm going to have some yams and egg whites. I'd be like planning out what carbs I'm going to get for each meal. It's kind of fun.
It is fun.
And then on the high carb day, you're like, okay, I got to wait till tomorrow to get nuts and to get my avocado in. I can't put avocado with my egg whites today. I've got to wait till tomorrow for that. And planning the higher fats on your low carb days.
I think that's the beauty of it, though, is that you don't have a long duration on a low carb. Some people follow just low carb diets, and it leaves them feeling really depleted and no energy, hard to focus at work. People have to be able to do their normal everyday life and be able to think at work. And I think that's the benefit of using a carb cycling, is that your body still maintains its normal functions. And
yeah, I noticed that you get much better pumps when you do some carb cycling versus going low carb. You just feel better when you're in the gym, when you're getting some carb day.
And I think the diet is easier to stick with.
It is. Are there any other diet tips you'd like to share with our viewers? Anything come to mind?
I added quite a few tips at the end of the book of how to be successful, of making small adjustments in life that you could actually take with you traveling, that you could take with you at your house. I noticed over a length of time, I just kind of studied even on my weeks that I wasn't getting to where I wanted to be. And if I reviewed the week and thought as to why, it might be something very simple, like I didn't have enough food containers, or
I noticed you even put a I'm not sure it's a whole chapter, but you do have a section in here on food containers, which that's something a lot of people may not think about. And sometimes I get a lot of dirty dishes stacked up at home. In fact, I have a whole bunch right now.
It happens.
It does.
It's regular life, right?
Yeah.
you have to figure out how to have that work-life balance that, you know, you're able to still accomplish your program and have preparedness to do it.
It strikes me funny, like I get asked a lot, how many hours do you spend in the gym? How often do you work out? But it's very rare someone asks me, how often do you go grocery shopping? How often do you cook? How many hours do you spend in the kitchen? So if they think I spend a lot of time in the gym, boy, I spend more time in my kitchen than I do in my gym. I mean, that's pretty much the way the lifestyle is, preparing the food. And I think a lot of people, they'd be better off to spend probably an extra hour a day they have in the kitchen and then squeeze in a quick, hard workout.
Well, I think the way I found efficiency with it is to cook about 3 days of food for the lunch and dinner components at least, and have that ready. And then on
Sunday.
that fourth day, you can cook again for the remainder of the week. So the food doesn't go bad.
Yeah.
But you're not every day spending an hour in the kitchen, because a lot of people don't have that sort of time.
Right.
They're
Sunday you're spending
busy, they're in the car, they're commuting, they're going to work, they're, you know, maintaining family.
Yeah. So it's one
regular
more
life.
thing to squeeze
One
into your
more thing to
Sunday, though.
yeah.
So spend a couple hours preparing your meals on Sunday for the next few days. Make some big batches and put them in containers. I tell people too that you need to get a food scale. People need to weigh and get an idea what 6 ounces of carbohydrates look like, what's 4 ounces. And so I'm a big proponent of actually having a food scale to get the portions right.
I think just even initially measuring it and getting that visual,
Yeah.
and then you can compare it to something that you have, because nobody's, you know, generally people aren't going to want to haul out a food scale every time they cook, because it's another step. So if you're cutting steps already, just measuring the food that first week that you're starting something new and just getting that real idea, like, is it a deck of cards? Is it the size of my fist?
Yeah.
You know, make it something that's easy to repeat.
Having a food scale, bringing it out when you're on a date, it's a really bad idea.
I haven't
when you
ever
hit the
tried that.
restaurant, it dampens the social life quickly. But I mean, pasta, when you go in a restaurant, the servings are just usually much larger than they need to be. Yeah.
I think that's where people get into a lot of trouble is the portions.
Yeah, so some of the restaurant serving size, I mean, I think that's part of being healthy is probably going out to eat less. Preparing your meals does that. So,
but I've found different ways of requesting your dish separate, you know, or, you know,
ask for half of it.
Ask for half of it packed up already, so you can eat half and then already have it packed up, or even sometimes I'll get double vegetable and skip the mashed potatoes or whatever comes with it. So you can make modifications. You can ask for that.
Yeah, double veggies is a
dinner.
good one. Absolutely.
So.
Well, let's chat about exercises for a little bit. That is part of it. Again, you said what, in the kitchen? I mean, people need to spend more time in the kitchen than they do working out. I completely agree with that, but exercising is a big part of it. So we actually had some pictures I wanted to show in a moment from the book that we could share, and maybe you could walk us through what's going on in those pictures.
Yeah, that'd be great.
So the first one, I think you're doing an exercise, you call it the bicycle. So you could tell our viewers what's going on here, and is this how you get your six-pack?
It's a move that helps develop both your upper and lower abs. It's you can do it on a bench or on a floor, just a flat surface. You bring your elbow from the opposite side to the opposing knee.
I think there's another a picture. Yeah, there.
Yeah, and then you just
progresses.
rotate sides. So you can go right from one side to the other, just rotating. It creates a twist, so it does have your obliques engaged, as well as the little lift you have at the top portion of your body engages the top portion of your abs, and then pulling your leg up engages your lower abs. So it's really the whole panel.
I'm getting a burn in my abs just thinking about that. Okay, well, let's move on and take a look at the next slide. There's a different variation or a different ab exercise altogether here. So What is this?
This is Frank Jones. He's demonstrating a spider crawl. So it's just starting off in a neutral prone position and best on a floor surface, a flat, unslippery surface. And then rotating from one side to the next, bringing the knee into the elbow and basically keeping your torso flat. So not with your butt in the air or back rounded. And it really, to get your knee to come up and meet your elbow, it's really pulling in, as well as a balanced move of your core. So it's gonna really work your whole core in having to balance that position.
Well, I'll have to try that in my next workout.
That'd be great.
That looks like it will really burn. I mean, I could see how both those moves would really get the abs engaged and just create a burn after a little while.
I'll wait for your feedback on that to see how that went.
You'll be getting it soon. All right, are there any other exercise tips that you have? Or?
You know, in the book I implemented circuits, and it's HIIT workouts or high intensity intervals, and it sounds intense, so it doesn't sound like
knowing you, it probably is intense.
But the point is that anyone can pick up this type of workout and work at their level and move up in intensity, speed, pace. It's varying that through the whole workout. So basically the workouts only take 20 to 30 minutes. It gets you in the gym, out, or if you want to take the workouts outside, you could use it on a bike or walking, running outside. As long as you're varying the intensity the entire time, you're going to have an all-day afterburn.
So the varying the intensities from high to high to higher to even higher?
No, it can be starting off just regular warm-up and then starting off at a nice pace, comfortable pace, moderate, and then bumping up the intensity to really push for like 30 seconds and then come back for about a minute to a moderate again, and just varying that throughout the 20 to 30 minutes. It's such an efficient way to work out.
I think we need to explain that a little bit. When you say an efficient way to work out, what you really mean is instead of spending hours on the treadmill, basically what you're doing is you're really bringing your heart rate up and really ramping it up. And then after, you're going to stop your workout, but your body's still burning a lot more calories. The afterburn is substantial, so you really get an efficient workout with a big afterburn.
Definitely. And I think people picture needing to go walk on the treadmill for 60 minutes and bored, and they don't want to do it. They're tired from their day. You know, who has that kind of time? And if you can get a workout in with half that time and it's much more efficient at burning calories, why wouldn't you implement that?
Half the time in the gym, twice the time in the kitchen. That's how you get the six-pack.
That's part of the guide to revealing it. So.
And then you did pack some secrets in your book, as I understand, along the way?
Yes, in every chapter I cover some of the most asked questions about abs, as well as six-pack secrets.
Can you share one of the secrets with us?
It's even simple stuff, like basically starting is the most important step. So, you know, it's not just having the book and buying it because it looks cool, but it's actually implementing something in it. So even if they don't implement the whole thing at first, but just making a move in that direction of becoming healthier and more fit.
So we're running down, we have a few minutes left, but what's another question that you've been asked a lot when you did your research, or another common question?
If I do 1,000 crunches a day, will I get a six-pack? And even if someone did 1,000 crunches, like we discussed, it's not about that. You see people on those ab machines doing repetition after repetition in the gym in hopes of that bringing out a six-pack, or at least maybe even the top 2 abs. But if there's the tissue covering it still, you're not going to see it.
I like the way you word it, tissue. That's what you get from working in the medical community, I guess.
Definitely, definitely. And it's very cordial and professional. So.
It is. It does sound very professional when you refer to it as tissue. But again, to summarize, people really need to push hard, intense, get the burn going, get the expenditure going, and eat clean. Are there any final thoughts? And then we're just about out of time. So.
Okay. I think it is. You've captured it. It's about, you know, the right nutrition plan, the right exercise plan, and I've included both of those in the book.
Great.
As well as created an abs challenge.
Well, thank you for coming here. It's been a pleasure to see you again, and thanks for coming back.
Thank you for having me.
I'll have to bring you back after a while and see how many people have actually followed this, and I want to hear some stories about how they changed. Oh, that'd be great. That'd be, yeah, fun to, when you actually look at someone from the inside and get a chance to relook at them and see that they now have a six-pack. So when that happens, let me know. And well, we'll have, on my website, lisarooney.com, we'll have some of the before and after pictures. So well, I look forward to hearing some of the success stories. And again, thanks for getting out there, motivating people, and showing what fitness is all about. Yeah, thank you for the interview. Oh, you're welcome. When's your next workout? Tomorrow morning. What time? Probably about 7 a.m. About 7 a.m.? Yeah. It's Saturday, and that's so on it might Saturday. Be a little You're gonna later. Sleep in yeah. Instead of your normal 5. I am an early bird. You are? Mm-hmm. Well, what time do you normally get up? Around 5. Around 5? Yeah. So you normally get your workout in at 5 in the morning? Yes. And then do you do an evening workout as well? Not unless I'm in training for a competition or photo shoot. I usually just stick with a short workout in the morning and get it done before I go into work. All right, well, thanks again. Really fun to have you back and to hear about what you've been up to, and congratulations.